Oh, Dirt. Thank you guys for joining me and the Just Roll With It, guys. We don't have... Oh, God. I forgot to mute myself. No, I forgot to mute the stream, so I'm hearing myself 2 times over. Just so that you guys know, this is going to be not it's going to be D&D related, but we're not actually playing D&D. This will be our hour, about, depending on how long it goes, talk show about last episode, which we don't have episode names yet.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of, because we're doing it live, I have last sessions down as a night stroll, but I mean that's pretty lame.
Night stroll.
Because like I base the title what happens. Like, what happens?
It's a night stroll. We're okay.
But
We gotta get titles, man. I'm just saying.
we can get good titles. It's just that like, because if I put a title down, then I feel compelled as a DM to start like pushing you guys towards it to make it so, or like baiting you even more so. And I don't like
Make it that way, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I mean, you
Then
bait
again,
us
like,
anyways, and we fall for it every time.
Well, there's baits everywhere. There's baits all around. It doesn't matter.
No, like,
He's the
dude,
masturbator.
That just happens.
He's the masturbator.
you know, I'm
You can choose
changing
to
your your overlay from DM to MB.
Oh, MB for masturbator.
Yeah, masturbator.
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 I'm fine with that.
But yeah, no. Last episode was episode 1, but it is episode 1, session 22.
Yeah, we're keeping that.
So that is let's recap.
Wonky.
Yeah.
It's a little wonky, but because we started off strange, just how it is.
Oh.
But welcome one and all. Yep, just the 5 of us today. Lena is busy. But yeah, these are just mostly for us as a group to just talk about the campaign, talk about characters, talk about stuff. It's also for me as well to observe, engage my players, and for you as well to gauge me and players. But anyways, guys, session 22, dubbed on my piece of paper here a night stroll. We pick things off after you guys rescue the Baron, with Kemdir initiating, because Kemdir and take the just left. But led to Pale Male Child. Pale.
It led to a
Child
bait. Who would have guessed?
It led to a bait. It's another bait. Anyways,
Masturbator.
yeah.
At least we made money.
Originally, I did have a bunch of encounters planned, but at the same time, because I didn't think you'd get this bait. There are baits that I feel like you'll follow, and there's baits that obviously will never. And this one was one of the ones that wasn't never, but I didn't think you'd actually do it. So the encounters were a little bit it could have been really long. It would have probably lasted a session or 2.
Bro, it's those side quests, man.
Right, yeah, it's your typical side quest bullshit.
I want those side quests.
But it pays off because you guys got.
Oh yeah, I needed money, dude.
It literally paid off. You guys got a lot of money for the contract. You got extra money from parlaying with Daveman, the halfling cell leader of the Green Thumbs in the town or the city. Some cool items. And more importantly, you have a beginning of a relationship with a Baron.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super good. Building some influence, getting your name out there.
And she's recommending us and everything like that.
Yeah, you guys got a letter. Let's see how that goes. I mean, obviously, a letter can only hold so much weight.
Yeah.
Unless it's like from like a really big name person. You know?
Yeah. But I mean,
If it
like,
was
it's still.
That'd be different. But it's still
Pretty
something.
dope if we saved the Empress herself.
Yeah. All right.
And we get a letter recommendation from
Oh,
her.
hey, look, Tiber Symptoms over there in the dungeons. We need to rescue him. Oh, Oblivion Crisis. So.
Yeah, I mean, why can't we, just get a simple, rescue on someone that, just, gives us, everything we could ever want.
Empress's daughter.
Yeah, like
I mean,
why can't I marry the Empress's daughter and just become
she
super
has 4,
famous?
and she has 3 sons.
Can I marry all 4 of them and then I'll never have to worry about I'll become powerful. I won't have to worry about money. I can send forces to where I need them.
I didn't know Kevin cared about money.
No, he doesn't. Joe does, but Kemdir no.
That's true. Joe did. I think everyone here cares about money.
Yeah, I like to see the gold pile go up,
through and through.
Yeah.
but I do not. I mean,
All about that paladin life for life.
Paladin life for love.
So I think the real big kicker where we left off was you guys made your way across the Hugquet Bridge into the village of Heartwall, which was from Dieter's perspective, and I think she only told a few of you. Or I think she kept it to herself. I don't really remember if she told you guys.
I think she was gone by then.
yeah, no, she was gone.
No, but she heard about the session before when you guys were in the city of Topia when you first got there. Oh no, she heard it also from the Naked Steward, I believe. She heard it from a conversation. That
Oh yeah, that place was overrun by bandits.
Oh yes, she did tell us.
Right. Okay, she did that. Cool. Anyways, yeah, so Harwell was supposed to be full of bandits. However, they had been put down by this group that you came across of knights. One of them looked like to be a musician of sorts, an older one in all gilded armor. If Don was here, his character would know right off the bats who they were, because his character actually saw them at the library during your downtime in Topia or Torcon. But they were taking books and stuff, chained. Looks like they're seekers of knowledge or stealers of knowledge. I mean, what's the difference?
Hoarders.
Um,
No, smart.
and Nemea's character, her brain and spirit was invaded by apparently 2 ancient old ones that offered
She is
her
not complaining.
two new routes, 2 divergent paths.
Are you saying she got DP'd by ancient old ones?
Yes, one was a male, one was a female.
Damn.
Wait,
If we gave
wait,
it
wait,
sex.
wait. Was the cold one the male?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's where we left off. Nemea has a choice to pursue these, but if she needs to pursue these, she can only take one. I mean, she could try to take both. You guys could help her take both, or she could alone. I don't know. Really depends what you guys do. Once again, it's bait. Thirdly,
Maya's gonna take the fuck out
thirdly,
of
it depends on if you guys want to strike at them on the road, or where you're gonna. You don't know where you're gonna get these crates after they leave this area. So it's up to you guys. That's pretty much it. Well, what did you guys? So what was everyone's overall feeling from last session? I guess.
Nemia's gonna take over the world and she's gonna steal our souls.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, that was kind of. I believe that I can be saved from that if I become the Oathbreaker for her.
She will not complain.
Exactly.
I'm screwed because Nemia doesn't know really what I'm doing, so she's just gonna take my soul regardless. So
Oh,
she's gonna put me in a
At
sock.
least try.
From those first 2 sessions, Kyle was already like, "I'm gonna turn you into an Oathbreaker." Like, well then.
And now you're turning into an Oathbreaker.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, but we should also talk about his, because he has a huge choice to make as well.
That is true. Yeah, Nick.
So,
I
but
mean,
I think we need to finish Nemia's first. So we have a docket of a plan, but I think we should talk about it because since we have both of them here, and that was the session before we started streaming, it makes congruent sense. We're not gonna go all the way fucking back to episode 1. Yeah, I would have loved to as well. That one would have been good.
Yeah.
Kemdir's
Yeah.
It was
Well,
unfortunate
yeah,
we
especially
couldn't get
being in
that
the
on stream.
fucking warehouse, me getting paralyzed from the neck down, Hanja breaking both his arm and leg,
Hey,
and
That was pretty
him
gruesome.
going
Yeah.
up the rooftop.
and
And the lady
Kemdir
just
being
going up.
confused about what a goth band was.
Yeah, and then Dieter
Elena.
just going up a shit tunnel and then just breaking boards
Becoming a giant octopus,
for nothing.
but it was
Just,
worth
just
it.
ripping boards.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of honestly
It's
a
close to
druid is like they can either be the pivot point or they can kind of be.
It's
a
just so
little
hard when you're
elusive.
not there at the table when you're playing such
Yeah.
a heavy spellcaster like a wizard or a druid. Like you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
And then with Wild Shape, like, it was a good idea if she would have dropped the form as soon as she left that.
But I get where she's
think
coming
that would've
from
been
with
really
keeping up, like utilizing her wild shape to the fullest.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
get
mean, yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
gives
she
her
has so
like an
few
extra,
chance
you
shots.
know, she only has 2 wild shapes, and she gets like an extra 50 HP or more bare minimum. Bare minimum.
Right.
Why?
waste that?
Yeah, especially when you're in combat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no,
that's-
I completely agree. It's
Yeah.
just
It's so hard.
She's doing well. She's doing well.
It's so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. I mean, we're all agreeing on it. Like, we're all.
Yeah,
we're
no,
all,
we're not. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, no, it's not her fault at all. It's honestly the class of just you have so many tools at your disposal. It's hard to choose which one to do.
Yeah, and like that's the same thing with me and my
Especially with
blood
her Witch
maledicts.
Doctor homebrew potions and whatnot. Just another layer.
Plus, she was on the trade. She wasn't really there too, so it was sort of hard.
She's
What do you call
another
it? Onion?
Rafik.
Layers upon layers.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like my big
Yeah.
question for Nemea is like I want to know like what was your thoughts when he was describing that scenario? Like what was going on in your head? That's what me as a player when I was sitting there, I was watching, but I want to know what was going on inside your head.
Yeah, for my facial expressions, you won't really notice or to be able to tell what is
We know.
actually going on inside my
We know.
head and how I feel. So
Your deadpan's pretty spot on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
perfected
just look
the
like
Rancor.
Jim every time he looks into the camera. Just
Nah, dude, like
Yes.
fucking Abra Plaza, dude.
Yeah.
Audrey
Plaza.
Plaza.
I
There you
keep
go.
saying Aubrey. Aubrey.
But-
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
How
I
I
don't know.
was feeling, I have very, very strong ties with world eaters and with how I feel towards a lot of things. So especially like with bloodshed and just all of my characters are based off of either magic or close combat. So with like just the pure rage and bloodshed and everything like that, it appeals to me more on the outside. But through Nemea and with how she feels, like with the controlling of souls, everything of that nature, it's more calm. It's more cold. It's more calculated. It's more deceptive. It's how I perceive. That's why it's kind of conflicting with me because when I was looking at it from both sides, especially from me as Kyle and then the other as Nemea, I have to see it through Nemea's eyes because if I start seeing it through Kyle's eyes and I keep playing as Nemea, it's like, okay, now I'm playing as myself instead of as Nemea. And that's why it'll get confusing because then I'll start hating her because I don't want to play her because she won't be fun or she won't be different as how I made my other characters. It's like I'm trying to. I've already done my choice, I should say, but I'm not going to say it or hint towards it. But I'm making the choice through Nemea's eyes and how she feels and how she acts and is proactive in what she's done in the past sessions as well. Because we've done over 20 of them, so
Question from me: is your choice through Nemea, your perception of how this would best suit her path to what she's trying to achieve?
yes,
Interesting.
that's why
So, like,
it's through her
Beautiful.
eyes and
Interesting.
through my thought process. And
Cool.
it's kind of
Cool.
pathological.
Yeah. No, it.
I'm
it-
still
I
calling
don't-
Blood Path.
I don't know if you
That-
recognize Kyle that Hernock was spelled corn differently.
Yes, I know.
Okay, it was so
was
easy.
an
I was like,
it
man,
was
I
an
can't really
anagram.
spell it any other way.
It was
whatever.
good. It was good.
Um,
I applaud.
let's see. I don't know if you got the hint, Kyle. There was a throwback character amongst the group.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, cool.
But
I know.
Nemea wasn't awake at that time. So.
Right, and I know Elena would have gotten it too. It's a throwback to her old friend Tyler's character.
I don't think
Thaddeus.
you saw my reaction when you.
I don't
you
think I
said
did. I was
Thaddeus.
too. I was
like,
too in the moment.
motherfucker.
This fucking guy.
God
Here we
damn it.
go. Here he is.
And
This
of course he's
fucking-
protecting the fucking chest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys have mentioned that this guy always plays the same character,
He
right?
our old friend played pretty much the exact same type of character. Always
Yeah,
took the
it had
same
the same
name.
name, and as I heard that, I'm like, wait a minute, we've talked about a
Yeah.
character that's been named this so many
Oh yeah, yeah.
times.
He's notorious. And
I can't remember
we
it right
Lena
now.
played with him since the beginning, and it was it was bad at first because I'm just like, all right, dude, he's gonna backstab me real quick. There it is. I knew it. Session 2. Here it comes.
Jesus.
Like, and then it's the
He's
same
cold and ruthless, and he's very
ruthless,
justifiable.
cunning.
Yeah.
He will gain any type of advantage for himself, even if it means the other players, even without talking to the DM. But the thing is, though, in recent years when I played with him for a little bit, he's changed, and it's great because it's changed into something that I never thought Thaddeus could change into, which is awesome growth. You know, it speaks volumes for Tyler and his growth as a person too, from all of the dark stuff that's happened to him, and with the loss of his mother and stuff. So
Very unfortunate.
it's really cool
Yeah.
that Thaddeus has also grown too from that kind of experience, which is awesome.
And that hard.
Thaddeus went through his own bullshit too, so I'm happy that he's also
Yeah.
changed, I guess.
But that also speaks volumes of tabletops, which we
Yes.
that would be a whole different show entirely.
Yeah,
That we can't get into that, like, and that would be something we would talk like a couple hours about. But
No, but yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Tyler.
No,
I love you,
but
buddy.
we
this year.
already made that
Anyways,
rule.
damn, where's Dom? But anyways, you guys should be throwing some questions. It should be really you guys throwing some questions.
Yeah.
I can throw anything with that one.
yeah, no, like my question was, I wanted to know, like, that's cool that that you're choosing to see it through Nemea's eyes. I mean, most of us do. That's kind of, I guess what makes us, like strong as players in, Mike's world, because we're not making choices based for us. I mean, it's something that we like. However, we don't necessarily just go out and just, do things to just do them. I mean, except the whole me terrorizing, kids. I mean, that was kind of me, just like, I'll have a little fun. But at the same time, I was just like, you know what? If we keep them away from the danger at this carnival.
Right, I see your cover up.
Yeah, exactly. You see my
I see you,
excuse.
I got
You see my excuse.
I see it,
Yeah, you see it. You see it. Hey, what's up,
But it
Renard?
worked though. It worked though. They
Yeah.
don't want to go anywhere near that.
Yeah, no. Hey, what's up, Renard? How you doing, bud? Yeah. So this is kind of a situation where, now here's my question to the rest of the party in tow. How do you guys feel about the journey that this is gonna be an overarching question. How do you guys feel about the journey that we as a team, as a party, have made from when we first started to where we are now? As
Good question.
One word. That's all I'm saying. Perfect. Because it can't be any other way.
Maybe natural, but yeah, Nick.
I feel like it's still our first session.
Still feels
We're
like our
honestly
first session.
yeah. I mean, we're getting. It's a
Lost
very
days
slow-
confused and sidetracked and
Yeah, exactly.
unfocused.
It's I mean, we
Masturbator over
still. Yeah, that's a big part, but we still haven't really came together as a group per se. Like it still feels like we're just a hodgepodge of people that have our own goals that are like, well, we got stuck together. I mean, we're communicating a little bit more. We're getting a little bit more of into each other's backstories, but we're still pretty relatively secretive in our own rights. Like, okay, we go on shopping sprees, but like, that's it.
I'm
I
gonna
know, at
call you
least
out and
for
say that's a
me-
lie. You guys know Kemdir's backstory,
Okay, yeah,
like
no.
pretty much 100%. There's probably like 5% you guys don't know.
We know you're from the Hollowed Country. We know you're a blood hunter.
Yeah, but you also know that
not
I
a
am.
whole lot.
No, you also know that I am looking to rebuild my order, and you guys know that.
I mean, you've recruited one person.
no,
more.
3.
One.
No, 3
We
because
we
when you
never
guys
saw Correa.
Don't know
We
about-
never
no,
saw
you guys
Correa.
know Correa because when I came back, when they were in the castle after the Roni Bar fight, you all were there. Loma
Yeah, she took
and
your mask. That's all we had.
yeah, no, but they did say she did mention that she was gonna join she was gonna join the Blood Hunters.
She mentioned maybe thinking about it. It was never a deadline thing that Mike said.
Yeah, but Loma.
She mentioned that she was planning
She
on to.
considered it.
No, she was planning on to, but she had
Okay.
to deal with other things.
Okay.
One
but
being the Copper Dragon being absent.
still, that was well. That was still, not a confirmed thing. Like at least in my mind as Argos is like,
Yeah.
okay, Correa's somewhere. She's not a blood hunter in my mind.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
not yet.
But
But-
I
I haven't
can see
seen
the
her,
apples
so-
and oranges in that.
Yeah,
The only person I know of is Otterish.
and
That's the
Loma. You
only
guys do know
disciple I have.
Loma as
And
well.
Loma. Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys did walk out when Loma said she was going to the Hollow Country.
She did?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So I can understand
You
Kreia.
guys you were tired by that. You were tired by that. It's hard.
Yeah,
it was-
okay,
it was
Yeah.
that
also-
is very true. That was the
also-
end of
Yeah.
the 10-hour session.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle are just sitting there like, I personally thought, I'm like, how am I going to drive home after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like that's why I'm that's why I'm sitting there. I'm just like, I get that one, but like you guys have heard it, and like
Yeah,
he has
okay,
and he
my
has
apology
also
then.
no, and the only thing he hasn't said is he's looking for artifacts. Like he hasn't said to the party, but you do know that as well as when he's looking also to rebuild information and learn.
You might
esp-
have said that more to Peak. Peak
Well-
would know more about you.
well, she would, but
You
at
haven't really approached me or Nemea about it.
yeah, but at the same time, when we were in the Elven village, he was writing things down. He hasn't really had much knowledge from that, as far as come up in that retrospect. But you guys have seen it, so you guys do know quite a bit about him. There really isn't that much. Like the only person, like he's tried to talk to Nemea, and Nemea's just like, no.
Well, I guess I'm also coming from the fact of I know my own backstory can be maybe not daunting, but it can be expanded pretty well, and also seeing like just taking a glance at seeing the Word document Kyle has on his backstory, I guess I figured Kimdir and also Peak have something along that lines of here's a 30-page backstory, especially
No, my
Nope.
backstory is literally what 3-4 paragraphs at best.
Okay.
Technically,
I just
same as
figured
Dom's
it
too.
was what?
Technically, Dom's also probably like 4 large paragraphs. It just took up a whole page.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I figured that it was more expansive, and we just haven't really touched on it. Like Nemea's just now coming around of telling us very reserved.
Yeah, Kyle. Why are you getting now? Why is Nemea sort of relinquishing
Yeah.
more?
Why? Is
Yeah, that's a good question,
I
DM.
just
Good
constantly have
question.
been casting Zone of Truth, guys. You just it's been subtle.
You don't need to cast Zone of Truth around. This has already been proven so many times. That's all I'm saying.
I don't believe that for a second. I saw your
Inside check right
alignment.
now.
I don't trust you anymore.
Inside check. Inside check. Do it.
Technically, they don't know your real like your tiefling name. So I mean, they can, yeah, they don't know
You
your
know-
yeah.
No one knows what my real name is.
But yeah, I
You know,
mean,
Nemea Yaghrana.
That's that Jarganoth is her last name, but Nemea is not her tiefling name. Just like nobody knows Kemdir's last name.
right.
You know?
Same.
Yeah. So I mean, there's things that we don't even know. Like I only know her last name because I can
Yeah, it was
understand the
literally
language.
revealed last session.
Well, yeah, but I've known it since she had I know about her lineage, not the Asmodeus part or anything, but I know of like a little, like a micro fraction of her anger, or something's not really even anger, but something's wrong because of her
Nemea's always hinted
conversation.
Nemea's always hinted towards lying, and how she's always outraged by it, and how she always gets really pissed off, especially if someone lies to her. As well as a couple of other minute things, as you said. Her last name is not her real last name. Dropping up a little hint right there. But,
She is
with
Asmodeus.
with how Tio reacted, it's kind of expected in what she wanted to
Yeah,
happen.
the scene with Tio is a really good indicator of a little bit of the insight of tieflings in Isatia, along with Nemea in general.
Yeah, because like
She is very out of character, especially with how she is helping all the party members, especially with funding and with.
That's because you keep taking the gold.
No, actually.
I mean, yes, you distribute it later, but you never distribute the gold you stole from the safe house that you burned down.
Oh,
You're
no,
just
I
like,
didn't need to
oh, I
distribute
found
that.
$10,000.
No, it's because
that.
No, it's because I sold an item. That's why I got 10,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
yeah.
I thought you found 10,000 gold.
Sold an item.
no, it was
She found a good amount of money, but it
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
10,000.
yeah, definitely.
He sold a lot of those items to get to 10,000.
And guess what? I split all that money.
She did.
Inside check.
I have the notes of every time you guys split money.
yeah, like. Yeah, and I think, and this is another thing I'm going to throw out there as, it's something that I've been noticing because I do it as a player as well. It's gonna harken back to what Argo said, which I agree. We're not like, I don't agree with the fact that we seem like we're in the first session. I think we are starting to work almost together, and I do this as a player as well. So I'm not going to say that I'm perfect by any means, because like hell I am. I'm the furthest thing from it. But I think it's one of those things where we're all in a bubble, and we're too afraid to pop the bubble and go outside of that to intertwine with each other. And I mean, there's me and Peak Talk, and a little bit of Dieter, and then it's the same with Nemea and Argos, and especially Honja and Nemea. That it's one of those safe bubbles that we all have, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but I believe that it's we stick to a safe space and we try to protect that space. And I think it's one of those things where it's more of not an issue or a problem, but I think it is a blockade. That's the word I was thinking of, a blockade. And I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I think it's awesome.
Why do you think it's awesome?
Why do I think it's awesome? Because each person has their own individuality. Each person plays their character as they should. Because with how Nemea views Kemir, how she views Peak and everything like that, she's only going to divulge so many things because of what your point of view is and how you react to certain things. That's why I think it's awesome that you find these little safe bubbles within the entire group. It's because it's its own little niche. That's all it is.
How do you feel, Argos?
like with
No, continue.
Anja and Nemea, I think it's fucking awesome because
Oh yeah, the murderers are next to each other. How fantastic!
not a murderer, a cold cackling fucking bitch. Okay.
I will agree with
Okay,
that.
you can't say that after you literally just are so happy that you went into a room by yourself and murdered 17 people.
You're complaining.
Can't say that.
That
And then
we're going
proceeded
to
burn
kill her.
down.
I'll put in that we're going
That
to
was
kill her.
self-defense, darling.
I'll even
I
go to
don't
that
think you
defense.
understand.
I wasn't this.
She willingly
Also,
went into that room
Hoka
by
really
herself, though.
fucked up the whole situation.
This is true.
She
Mayo was
willingly went
invisible.
into that room by herself.
Yeah, to hide and be like, all right, I'm gonna weigh this out. I'm gonna steal, and then Honja's just like, stab, ruined everything.
Honja, don't
And then
do
look,
anything.
because he heard Nemeo nearby, and he said something in that area.
Yeah, because she was
Honja,
invisible.
don't do anything. Let's kill them.
Yeah, and like I still can't get over this. Like back in the simpler times, like I'm just out getting ramen. I got free healing potions. Like, man, free healing potions. I could have joined them and just stayed in that town, lived in the slums, you know, and just been like, this is my life. Just be like, you guys go become arbiters. I found my people.
I mean, you could have literally trained them all up and then rebuilt the blood. Like, you could have just been like, hey, let's take this operation to the Hollowed Country and just, like, totally persuade them all. Persuade them all to become blood hunters. Like, guys, I have your brand. Now you get my brand.
Don't enforce
you
another
get what I
character's
mean there?
theory of conscription, Argos.
Yeah, no, like
I see you trying to pull.
Confused theory
I see
with
you trying to pull
conscription.
strings with previous experience through your other character in the Warhammer campaign.
I do not.
Mercer was a special case. Let's be honest here.
He was a
Those
special
Cathayans,
ed case.
They were looking for it. The Cathayans were looking for the opening, and I gave it to them.
That's a terrible opening.
Pretty sure it was the other way around. You were looking for an opening and they took it.
It is mutually
They're like,
beneficial.
food? Yes. Money? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Firearms?
Firearms? Yes.
Our entire life.
And now they're and last that we left them, they were starting to get cocky.
Only Chow. Only Chow. The other ones were still pretty. Mao was amazing. Mao is best girl.
You don't know what she does in her spare time.
Yeah, you don't know what she's doing with Zexel. No, I'm just kidding.
Axel's too short for her. I'm gonna make that call right
You don't
now.
know what she likes.
Yeah, you don't know what she likes.
yes,
she
I
she, she she likes the smart ones.
All those stunties around. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, and the
Some of
smart
those
one is gonna
beards
be
look really
Dang.
fucking sexy.
Dang Yi. He's the smart one.
Okay, I guess I'll bring it back on
Yeah.
track. What do you guys what's the overall mentality, group mentality, individual mentality of making your way to Genosco Citadel?
Finally.
Talking to the Baroness. Talking to the Baroness.
Finally.
Finally. Okay.
That's
Elaborate.
the main thought on it.
Okay.
Oh right, we're going to another. Baron.
I would assume you guys would go there right after this if you guys choose to pursue these guys with the crates. Entirely up to you. But what's the overall, like, how do you guys feel? Is this gonna end up like normal? You guys have a different plan going forward now that you sort of made deals with people in higher positions?
Wanna make a deal with the devil.
What is your character's overall mindset now going to speak and actually conduct yourselves as arbitrators, you know, announcing to the local regional authorities that, hey, you know, we're conducting a contract here. We need to do our business. Right.
Yeah,
Nemea kind of finds it to be like, hey, we're actually stepping up, but then she also finds it to be like normal etiquette because of like how she was raised being a noble. So
That's true.
yeah, Kemdir doesn't like all the rules necessarily. Cause he's just like he's used to not having, you know, it's killed or be killed. Like it's very base. I mean, it's an extinction of, you know, you have to do what you have to do to survive. But especially now knowing that, you know, with Adrish, you know, he felt guilty. I'll call it like I see it. He felt guilty. You know, he didn't want to, you know, he takes his responsibility very seriously.
Mhm.
You know, like if someone, it's a whole situation of if someone threatened, you know, Adrish, Kreia, Lolma, he would.
Maybe not Loma.
Well, maybe not Loma. Loma. Honestly, Loma scares even Kemdir a little bit. Like
Yeah, she's a level 20 cleric.
I don't even care, man. Her
Paladin
personality is kind of when they were talking, he was
First impressions was just really over the top.
you know, like she kind of scared
Whoa.
Kemdir, and then like she's just sitting there just like talking, like I don't know, like I haven't had much of like as far as an interaction, like, you know, being able to talk to her, so, you know, I'm still like, she's still, you know, very stoic, just like, oh god, you know, like she's intimidating, but, you know, no matter what, like even if someone did threaten her, it would be more of a, oh, cute little puppy, you're trying to protect, I can protect myself, but he would still, you know, go out of his way to do so because, you know, he has a responsibility to them. You know, he made a promise, he made a pact with them, not specifically Loma and Kreia, but that will be justified if they do meet again. We have talked about it. It is the mark of Kemdir. It will happen eventually. If I wouldn't have died, it would have happened. But, you know, it's more of a it's a thing that, you know, he's, you know, him walking into the situation, it's very weird, but he understands, he understands that this outside world runs on money. It runs on lying. He doesn't like lying. I mean, he was in a truth circle that was Truth Circle Plus that could read your thoughts too. He's a very basic. He's a basic bitch. Like, you know, when he wants something, that's what he wants. You know, he doesn't lie. I mean, he knows how to lie, but chooses not to. You know, like he's a pretty honest person. If he's doesn't want to do something, if he's terrified of something, or if he gets angry, he's angry. He's kind of he's kind of easy to read.
Insight check.
You get a nat 1, you can read his mind. Pretty much. Like it's the whole fact of when you walk into a room and you look the way Kemdir does, you can see 18 people and you know that you don't want to talk to the people that are holding their noses up to you because you know their reaction. Because Kemdir is naturally insightful. Like that he can read people. So, you know, he knows who to talk to and who he wants to talk to. But going into this situation with the preconceived notion of she's not already going to like us, and after the gnome being the first person to actually tear into him and call him a vagabond, and he's like, oh, okay. Dang. That's new.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Van She's really cool. Her backstory is awesome. I can't wait till you guys actually like maybe go back and well, I know I know Kendra's gonna go back to the Bruiser Gents one day, but if you come to interact with the Bruiser Gents more, you'll learn more about everyone in that, including Van Pine, which is really cool.
Yeah, no.
Argos, what is how does Argos feel about heading home, near home, you should say.
Home.
Right.
Bit
Home?
terrifying. Honestly, home is Greece.
Mm.
Home is Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as soon as the Draconic Dominion fell and oh god, what's it? I can't remember the country's name now.
The one currently?
Yeah,
Yolofis?
I kept thinking Yugoslavia. I'm like, wait, no.
I don't want your Lothis. I want my Lothis.
Yolofis. As soon as that was established, it was time to hightail it out of there. Even though it was a turn scale, I mean, being under the general I was and not still despising Draconians, it's like not a good scene to be there. So I it's terrifying. They could easily want to still put me to death, whether I was a turn scale or not. So it is very. You'll probably see a very different side of Argos, depending on quite literally how close we get to the border. A lot more reserved, trying to be very subtle about all of his actions, to not provoke anything, and not get his name spoken at all.
What does the group think of Tay's little plan of armistice with the Green Thumbs and Ox Call?
I think it's gonna go badly.
Yeah.
I think it was a decent effort and try, and we will probably.
I wish Dom was
out
here
the-
so you could ask him what was his.
Well, I don't know
his,
where he's going. I think
his
he's
reasoning behind it all. Yeah, I don't know where
think
he
it
where
was
he even.
good.
yeah, he left and it has literally
Been an
been
hour.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy. He just yeah. Yeah.
He-
I think I think it was a good idea just to get him off our back, because personally, after Diligent, I'm just like, okay, cool, we'll never have to deal with him again. And then they just kept showing up. I'm like, oh my god, no. So it'll be nice to try and get him off of us, but at the same time, I don't see this meeting going well personally, because Peak literally name dropped, well, not name dropped, but race dropped Nemea.
Race
saying-
dropped.
Yeah.
I love how that's an actual term.
As he
I'll
said,
say race
it's
dropped.
Oh, that was my tiefling friend. So it wasn't.
You
a
just
name
race
drop,
dropped my friend.
You just race dropped my friend, dude. How
but
could you?
Hey, in a
It's a-
group of a
I will
in the
tell you
group
what
of a
race I am. Thank
human,
you very much.
This is the ninth age. We don't race drop.
ASMR, Draconian, tiefling, you know, it's pretty easy to pick out who the tiefling is. In
Right. Yeah.
Nah,
So
man, nah.
So I could see this going either very well with Nemea having the money or whatever they want,
I already
or
spent that
it's Nemea. I'm as soon as we meet the leader of the Green Thumb, Nemea saying Eldritch Blast, and then we have to fight like probably 15 high-level Green Thumb members.
yeah,
if
I just
not
wish Dom was
more.
here because like I was hoping you would all ask like Dom like, hey, so what is the plan behind all this?
Because we're gonna
Are
hold
we just
them
gonna
to
meet
it.
with them and just have tea or?
Or is it
Was-
going to be turning into one of those things where he walks into a room, tries, but fails, and then everyone
We have
has
to
to
clean
die?
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Since we
Every
made this
single
meeting,
goddamn
Lotus.
time.
we made
Every
the
single
meeting. It's
goddamn
his-
time.
We tried diplomacy, but it never works. Black Lotus.
Black
Except
Lotus.
for that one time.
Our
Thank God,
our motto is we try to stealth.
Yeah.
That's our motto. That's our motto.
But yeah,
See, that's gonna be
This is Stratton? Yeah, this is us stealth.
it's
Yeah.
Let's
it's
try.
Pete's
Yeah.
mission.
This
It
is us trying.
Pete's
Oh,
mission.
it's Peak's mission. All right.
This is us trying.
Yeah.
We're leaving it all on. We're leaving it all on Peak.
Yeah,
I guess.
she made the meeting.
Oh,
Pete made
man.
the meeting.
It's gonna suck when
So-
Orlando comes in and just
It
like,
is-
wait, what is going on?
What
It is
the
fully,
fuck?
at least that's where me and Argos come from. Is Peak set this up? She takes lead. Peak
I feel like
takes lead.
Argos that's to you all the time in any situation
Yeah.
with Black Lotus. Is
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
yes.
what the
true.
fuck?
a little
Well,
bit just
Says
because
the lawful good character again. Like, god damn it.
Yeah, because I understand as both the attempted tank with the, I say attempted because of my pitiful HP pool.
Mm,
Um,
so sad. So sad.
the
Rest in peace.
attempted
R.I.P.
tank.
I blame it on the standard array.
Dude,
I didn't take standard array.
Oh, I
You
blame it
took,
on the point
I
by.
did point by.
you did point by. Yeah.
I
dude.
blame it
You
on the
just-
point
my
by.
con's not that bad.
Yeah, but you just rolled bad. You just rolled
Yeah.
really
No, I was
bad.
rolling like twos.
Yeah,
was rolling
it was
twos.
bad. It was bad.
But yeah, I mean, it's the what we've been going through. It's as being a paladin, lawful good, with the experiences I've had, is kind of just like almost cleanup crew style of just everybody else does their thing, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll take the back seat. I'm fine with that. That's kind of my role in the group is to just be the guy who tries to cover
So,
up
quick
for
insight
everyone
question
else.
then. Does that sort of harken back to when Argos was dealing with, like, during the war, how the Dragonborns were so bloodthirsty for revenge, and you were just taking the backseat?
I mean, yes and no. It was more of a. It was more of that was, honestly, that was the younger Argos.
Okay.
That was a little bit of still having that draconian blood pump
Mm-hmm.
of war mixed with the ideology of Dragonborns and Draconians should probably work together and be equals to make a way better country.
So, does Argos still believe in that? The Dragonborn Draconians can live a unified life?
With how it's been going, and then also with the talk with Kinrunamun, it is
Yes,
more
I'm happy that you
apparent.
pronounced it correctly.
Yes, Kinrunamun.
Yes.
Say it one more time.
Say it one more time.
Kinrunamun.
Yes.
Yes.
All you hear from
Oh,
the
no,
bottom of the table
I-
is just. This is all you hear from the bottom of the table.
No, I
Every DM loves it when they
if
get
I
the name
ever
right.
mispronounce anything, please tell me, because that's a big pet peeve of mine. Because I hate.
Oh,
when
I have
things are
been. You
mispronounced.
because you've always asked me the question like, or at the table, you're just like, is that how you pronounce it? I'm like, no, that's how you pronounce it.
Okay,
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
but,
but
I pronounce.
Even if you get it wrong, like that, I feel like that's how your character would like think about it, like
mhm.
Nemia. Okay, you're Nemia. You're Nemia.
yeah, but
Tlaloc, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that one was hard. That one was hard.
Tlaloc, yeah, fucking that was D&D Beyond's name.
Yeah, I know.
That was crazy.
yeah, but see, my question is now to piggyback off that is the thing about it is you being so passive and letting these awful things happen. How does that affect you being lawful good? Because you're letting terrible things happen, but you're not attempting to stop them and guide people to a better path.
That is because it's still, while being the alignment of lawful good, it's still being that natural born warrior a bit, and also realizing that we're arbitrators now, so things kind of it's a very different form of law at that point. It's still I see lawful good as I have my very lawful. I don't. It's not. I see lawful good as not following every single law that the governing body has. It's me following my own laws that are lawful. Like I have my own set of paladin rules, basically, of this is what to do, what not to do. My own, basically, 10 commandments that I try not to break.
I feel like that's very 5e nowadays. So
Yeah.
it's so hard. It's so hard, you know.
Yeah. No,
I play in those campaigns where you're playing an evil group and you're the only good guy. Like, do I kill everybody? Do I notify the
it
guards?
is hard.
Like, DM, I'm gonna
That's
tattle
why-
on you real quick. Like,
That's
but
why
that's a good
doing
explanation
that
that
tavern-
you were hearing your good justice laws in congruent with an organization because you still understand that there's authority in this organization.
Yeah.
That's good.
and my next question.
And that's why killing that guy in the
Yeah.
tavern hit so hard. Just
Yeah.
me personally, emotionally, as trying to play this good paladin. And
Yeah, Nick actually grew like a couple pimples after that happened. He
Yeah,
went to
I
the
was
bathroom.
honestly
pretty distraught.
I was so happy that
He
I
was
was there to
really
support
stressed
you.
out.
But
Like,
then
if-
later on,
if
you,
If the
you
audience was
almost had
watching,
me
you would have all
assassinated.
seen our player Nick get really stressed out.
No,
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna
honestly was
cry
considering-
personally.
Yeah, he got really
I came
stressed out.
I came very close.
No, like I saw
I
your
honestly
face, like around your eyes just started getting really, really red,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, I have to stand up. Like I thought you were gonna cry. Like
I honestly, at that point, I'm just like, I thought about it. I'm just like, I might just leave right now. Like, I can't deal with this.
he just packs.
I don't know
I'm packing
how
up.
far
my-
we were into the session, how many hours, but I'm just like,
No,
I
we.
can't
This
do
was when we.
this.
This is when we like. This is when we took. We were starting to do 4-hour sessions. We were near the end. we were at least at like 3 hours to 4 hour mark.
Yeah.
We were close to the
yeah,
end
I
of that
was
session.
So distraught. I think even literally the next day at work, people were asking me like, "Why are you so down, Nick?" I'm like, "I had a tough weekend, guys."
Love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So and
so
like
then-
my next question is to the DM. What made you think at any point my alignment was evil?
No. So I didn't say evil. I said that because I saw your character was chaotic good, and you took a celestial deity, a Kirin of all deities, who is the most benevolent among the most benevolent. It struck strange to me that a chaotic good character, even good, you still do things of your own accord, where a lawful good, which is what a Kirin is, would still adhere to some of the strictest laws, especially a Kirin of natural order, and to Coriel, who Coriel, you know who Coriel is.
Yeah.
Coriel's really fucking strict. And he doesn't listen to the gods unless, like, even when the gods are like, hey, we need to fight this war, if the gods don't listen, he'll do it himself. Like, Coriel's LG to the LG. And Kirins, for the most part in this world, adhere to that. Well, no, I take that back. Zemnitar. Zemnitar is one of the only Kirins that actually is very martial. Other Kirins are normal Kirins. They protect the good, look after good people, bring good favors. But it just struck me. It struck me weird. I was like, "Chaotic good, huh? That's weird." And this is me coming back from old school alignments where alignments actually mattered. So it just popped up, and I'm like, why did how did chaotic good come into play with a lawful good? But like I said, 5e doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
5e.
As long as you play it, as long as you
Don't
play it
worry
roleplay
about
wise, that's all that really matters. Which I'm
Don't
totally
you
actually
worry.
down for because that's makes sense. I'm more of a narrative guy anyway, so that's cool. But yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, Corio would not have said yes. Corio would have been like, no, dude, this guy has there's chaotic good. Let's see, there are probably 15 things that could go wrong with this person's Zenitar, and Zenitar's like, nah, he's mine.
But I'm a good boy though. Just a little.
You are, but you can't go off the rails though.
Yeah.
Not like in the evil way, but like you can go off the rails where you will annihilate an entire enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like an entire enemy without any mercy, which is down the path you're going to is required and sort of necessary.
He's learning.
But at the same time though, here's the weird part. Coriel would do the same thing though.
Yeah.
Coriel would do the same thing if it was a truly evil thing, and that's where you have been discussing where like, man, I'm in a world where there's a lot of gray. I prefer a black or white type of world.
Yes.
Because I can make easier decisions that actually I believe would matter, or have an actual meaning.
Yeah, I mean we've discussed this because before this, and this is why we're starting the stream, is because we have sected talks between all of us, which we're trying to condense into something. This episode will be on YouTube. Since I have the week off, I will be pushing the first session and this over to our YouTube channel. But yeah, no, we've talked about this. Kemdir doesn't particularly care for the Green Thumbs, although if Nemio wouldn't have told him to shut up in the last episode, he would have been like, stuff it, take your stuff and go. Because that's like dealing with the devil. Like, and going back to the point, it's just like they're just gonna bribe us because now they know we will take bribes, so they're gonna pay us to look the other way or pay us to go away. And he knows this because his order isn't perfect. I'm sure there are people that's blood hunters can be any alignment. Yeah. There are evil blood hunters most likely, and if they're not, I would be severely surprised. But knowing Mike, that's not the case. There's probably a sect of them that have so it's one of those things where it's just like that you're making a deal with bad people. But I mean, he particularly didn't stop it because, well, he almost attempted to, but then he was just like, yeah, no.
I was wondering because you guys didn't take the bribe combat for sure.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, Nemia literally told, she's like, in the session, I even watched it back. Nemia's just like, Kemdir, shut up.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, no, like, and then Kemdir's just like,
Yeah, same. Like when
I
you
was
were
just
like, I want you to apologize to Argo.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like, dude, stop.
well, everyone was, because that is his, you know, his motivation to just be like, you know,
No,
and
I know,
this
but,
is where it comes down to where you see how Kemdir is, because he's like, you're this person's boss, you're their leader. You take responsibility for what they do. And at that point, that solidified who he is as a man in Kemdir's eyes.
Yeah, and Kemdir's not used to this kind of relationship in an organization.
Yeah, you know, it's like even if you're not as close knit as you are as a blood hunter or just his enclave, you know, that's the huge thing, is like, you know, he sits there and he's just like, okay, I know everything I need to know about you. If I come across you, I know how it is. And when it turned, you know, it was a straight narrow path. Like when we approached about the addendum to, you know, Adrish, Kemdir took 100% blame and is just like, I will take the full frontal blame. I will stand in front of this for him. Do what you have to do to me, not Adrish. Like that's, you know, that is, you know, that's the way, that's where the black and white comes from Kemdir. You know, it's like, that's
really
how.
just like how it all panned out. I like how I offered the parlay, I offered the bribe, and I knew you were gonna be like, Daveman, you need to get your people in line because it's bullshit. Our friend here got like suffered through it. I was like, all right. And then Nemea was like, no, stop it. We're gonna finish this. And I like how Nemea took charge of that, and eventually it was just like, we're just gonna take the bribe and you're gonna go. We're done. We're not gonna fuck around. We're gonna try to settle this for good now. And like it was a really cool scene.
Yeah.
Seeing Kemdir get shut up when he was about to do his thing, because like it to me, as if I was part of the party, I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck that. Like they just tortured our friend. Are you fucking kidding me? Like I want something else, you know? Because right now we're taking a bribe. That means I've literally acknowledged that what they did to our friend didn't matter. You know?
Yeah, and like I love the dynamics of it. Like me as an outside as a character, like me as a player, like I like the dynamics. I like the fact that Nemia stood up and is just like, no, just shut up. And then Argos was just like, shut up. And it's just like, you just got tortured to an inch of your life. You know, because when we have time, like Kemdir.
No armor. I was on 2 points of exhaustion. I'm just like, dude, just let us get through this. Like,
yeah.
We are honestly surrounded and not in a good position right now.
And Kemdir would have been like, the thing about it is, you know, he does feel responsible for, you know, like all of, you know, everybody in the party. So it's just like, he's just like, he would have attempted to kill all of them. He probably wouldn't have lived.
They had some good stuff on them too.
Yeah, I know. Especially that one that just gaseous form.
Oh, he didn't have that much good. He just had cool spells because he's a spell thief.
Oh.
But Luzia and Dave had really some cool stuff.
Man, and that could have all been our. No, I'm just kidding.
Could have all yours
Daveman wasn't even there.
plus the rest of their stuff, all their money.
Yeah, all their money.
All
That one gold.
paperwork and stuff.
All that one gold they have on each of them. No, I'm just kidding. They probably have more than that.
Nah.
Yeah.
So real quick, what did you? Because I know you guys all talked about, hey, we're gonna do this contract differently. So what's the mentality now after what's all transpired since leaving Torcon? What's the plan with the contract now, guys?
Trying to talk through it instead of more combat.
Besides that, I'm talking about like you guys have a plan, like because I know you guys initially like said that, hey, let's try to hit the carnival before it even sets up. Is that still a possibility?
Yeah.
The fact that we only spent 2 days. No.
Well,
1
no,
day.
it's 2 days now because technically a day and a half because we went in. We went in at the
right now where we left off.
Yeah, because
so a day and a half.
Yeah, so when we went in, it was morning, and then we took care of our shopping. We got our accessories, you know, the little knickknacks we needed.
Accessories.
And then at night is when we did all that, and then we had the attack, and then we had to go get Argos, and then we took our long rest. So tomorrow, where we're gonna end up is in the afternoon, and we're in the town, and then we're gonna make our way over to.
We already did that because of the library people.
Yeah,
You're still in front. They were just leaving, so that's where we're sort of.
Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
crossed the bridge.
no,
Yo, you
they,
did. Yeah, you did. You're in front of the village of Heartwallow right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys saw some of the citizens of the village bringing them books and parchments, and they were putting in this wagon that had a bunch of them.
What was
Some
the
books on
average
chains.
race of Heartswallow?
Oh,
man, for some reason I'm dropping frames.
70% humans, 30% halflings.
Interesting.
Not a halfling.
There's a lot of sheep farmers and shepherds.
Oh God, Dieter.
A
No.
majority of this northern area, this quadrant of the empire, is mostly roaming lands for
So
like
it
cattle.
smells like sheep shit.
But it's still fertile though. There's a lot of farmlands though too.
Dieter is going to have a picnic.
So yeah, what is the overall mentality going forward now with the contract for everybody?
Well, after this, I know I'm kind of in line with Namia, just because after realizing the gravity of their normie laws and stuff, Kemdir knows he has to do things a little different, and the only combat he initiated was really the werewolf.
Yeah, no, I don't think really any of you. No, the group has never
always
truly
just get
initiated.
ambushed
You were
ourselves.
always that, and you guys just stumbled upon it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
stumble a lot.
Yeah, but and there's never been really talking. And Kemdir, he's not very much of a talker for the most part. I mean, like that's just him.
I mean, nobody's asking him though.
No,
Well, here's
that's
the
the
thing.
thing. It's like
Yeah.
but he knows
We're
he
not-
has to.
We're not trying to figure out each other's pasts and whatnot.
Which is good though. For
I
now.
We only
want
did that to
you to
Nemea
know.
because it came up.
But secondly, the cool thing is like you don't have to really take the whole not talking very, 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 very harshly. In my mind, I'm hoping that you guys figure out how to be arbitrators in your own way and still abide by most of the laws, or find loopholes. That's sort of what I expect from you all, is to still figure out these things somewhere relatively below the law, but obviously you can't, and that's why you guys are going to start experience where, oh, we broke this law, or we have to talk to this one, or we were in heat with this person or this faction. Like it's going to happen.
Our bad.
It's just how you guys deal with it is basically all that's really what you need to figure out, and that'll take time, and that's what the whole point is so far in this first few contracts, is to figure out how you guys arbitrate, and from
We
there
arbitrate
also.
bad.
Well, that's what you think, and maybe to others, yes, but maybe to others, no, because there's also there are some arbitrators who are just bad to the bone and just trash, or sorry, they just no regards for the law or how they conduct themselves. They're just really good at getting the job done. You know what I mean? Like I said this in the beginning. Like you can solve the contract however you can, at your best of your abilities, and how best to your character. There are characters who just literally go point for point on the conditions and just complete them. There are people who complete contracts and try to get as much money as they can from it. There are people who out there who do contracts and only somehow just does like one condition, but still accomplish all the others after one run, or like
Minimalist.
one masterful plan. There are, like I said, there are many ways how to complete these contracts. It's just how you guys do it and develop it your way.
We just kill everything.
Sure, if that's
So
the way,
far.
if that's the
No.
way it's gonna be. But at the same time, I feel like eventually that'll change.
No,
Because
it will change.
That's how it is in every campaign. You know,
Yeah.
players and characters just change. It's very rare you see people who don't change, and that's just because the player hasn't changed.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of where I like right now. I mean, we are still the thing is also putting into perspective, we've been playing this campaign for 7 months.
Yeah.
However, in game time, it's only been a month and a half. We've known each other.
Exactly.
So this is we're not moving. It's not.
This is fine. This is relatively where most groups are.
Yeah, I mean
We're
it's
only level 7.
Right, and we're going to level 30. So
no, we're level 8. Thank you very much.
yeah, you guys are level 8, and we're going to level 30. You guys have a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, are we level 8?
Yeah, we
Yes.
are.
You've been level 8 for quite some time.
Yeah, we like Mike said
It's
after.
been so long, I forgot.
Yeah, no, it's been
Yeah,
the
it
reason
has,
why it's
and
been
I'm
so
trying to remember
long.
right now if I did ASI,
I believe you did
probably did ASI.
because you needed the stats.
Yeah, you had
Yes,
to.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, you still kind of do, but
Terrible stats.
the thing is, you know, our whole the whole dynamic of the group is relatively normal, and you know, it's one of those things where it's not like, you know, we all chose, you know, broody characters, except Dieter. Dieter's just like, I'm here on a visa.
Peaks brooding.
Yeah, and that's sort
And
of my
Peak
part
really
too.
isn't either.
I honestly don't like I get I it's a group game. It's a collaborative game.
Yeah.
D&D is always a collaborative game. But like I just hate where everyone's just like, let's help each other right away. And like it's only when people make backstories for their characters and then their backstory just contradicts itself. Like it just irks me. It's like one of those pet peeves. I'm like, why? Like at least be hesitant about it and don't just go all full Nelson on it. Like role play it. Unless it's like a fucking riddle where everyone needs to get on that shit together because obviously no one is good at riddles in the group. Then yeah,
Hell
let's
no.
all fucking help out because obviously our backstories is not gonna play any part if we're not gonna get out of this. Can we cancel the fucking riddle? Damn it, Mel.
Yep, the man's dying.
Yeah, Mel
Fucking
just
Mel.
Mel
God
didn't even
damn
do a
it.
goddamn thing.
You
Just
didn't do shit.
I was actually upset about that. I'm just like, really?
Because there's nothing I could do. I'm like, I definitely know. Okay, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's harping on a different campaign
Totally.
entirely.
Um,
But no, like, and that's the huge thing is like, you know, it's I think, you know, we're doing okay, especially for now. I mean, the one thing is like we all have different, you know, dynamic personalities as people, and we're playing to that, you know. But it's in the beginning I was slightly worried because, you know, we weren't working together, and you know, Kemdir as a character was just like, yo dude, we're gonna die if we don't work together. And then guess who died? Because he stepped out of line.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, see? You know, he stepped out of the toe where he needed to be. I still think that room was bullshit. Freaking, I hated that room. Fucking,
It was a great room.
it was a terrible room. 10 feet movement. Fuck that room.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that room. And
Gotta
fuck and
overcome. Adapt and overcome.
fuck that room.
So you guys, going back, getting back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are just gonna talk it out. Just gonna talk to them. Is that?
I
That's
think
fine?
it's gonna be me and Nemea taking lead on this one because it's so close to home.
Ha. That better not be the case.
Or it's gonna be Namea is trying to hide because she can't be found out.
I mean, same, but I think. Well, at least that's my perception of I don't want to be seen here.
Well,
There
at
goes
least
two,
you.
there goes 2 out of the 3 people that speak Draconic in the group.
Yeah. Oops.
Who's the third one? Oh,
Me. It's me.
no, it's you and
No,
Arlo.
it's
It's
only
only
me.
yeah. I learned
only me right now.
I only learned esoteric languages
Right.
because it made sense.
Which will come in play.
just not
eventually.
in
not now.
yeah.
Just not right now.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that just because I'm gonna do this kind of like subdued version of Argos of or subtlety. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna talk.
You could change into a
Just means I'm
halfling
not
that
gonna
you
try and
killed.
I'm not gonna try and do these big things of accidentally murdering innocents or, you know, doing anything that spreads word that there's arbitrations going on in this town. But I think it's gonna still be just me and
we
Nemea
kinda-
talking mostly until combat.
Depending
up
on
close.
how people react to us and who we see and how we remember them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because we're the only ones who have known about the Ring of Beasts prior to being
Have known
an
about it,
arbitrator.
but then again, we figured out who was actually running it. And
Yeah. Obviously, you with the Tiefling ringmaster, and me with the Dragonborn ringleader.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting dynamic. I think that's why I severely think that Kimdir, Peak, and Dieter, and even Honja are going to take a bigger back seat in this contract to me in the match.
Big backseat, big backseat.
I think.
Big backseat. I like backseat driving.
I mean, not
Fuck
to say that
backseat
they're not going to be.
Fucking hate them. Let me fucking drive.
I don't think that they're not going to be integral within the quest. I think they'll just, they'll hopefully understand that it's like, no, we can't really help as much.
Well,
as
it's
we
just
would
that the
want to.
expectations just could be so much higher for you two now.
Yeah. Now
I mean, that's just where I'm
Kemdir's just gonna be
coming
like,
It's
I'll be
all
over
on
here.
you two if that's the case.
Yeah, no.
That's just
You know
where
what?
I'm
Kemdir's
coming
gonna-
Let's go. It's just us
Everything
two.
bad that's going to happen from here on out is because you didn't meet expectation from the rest of the group who took the dramatic step back.
I'm not saying
Kemdir is gonna learn
dramatic.
how to cast disguise self, and he's just going to turn into Old Man Jenkins, and he's just gonna be like, oh, these kids, freaking get off my
I will
lawn.
punch you so you drop it every
I'm just
time.
going to make a law where people older than 60 have to be put into a specific home for the rest of their life.
It's in that the Tower of Magnus or whatever it's called.
Sure, we can put him there.
Okay.
It's just that's the lobby. It's the purgatory for everyone who's over 60.
What's wrong with that?
I
There's a lot of
remember,
things
yeah,
wrong.
there is a lot.
There's a lot of things wrong with
It's-
that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, but no, that's kind of it depends on how everything plays out and how organic everything happens, because it all depends. Like, it's Kemdir isn't gonna back away, because he's already come back, and he's gonna see everyone through everyone's goals, again, as long as they're not annihilating the world.
What?
Why does Nemea want to do that?
What
No,
doesn't-
she just wants to annihilate her family.
He's not refuting it, so.
That's but yeah, no, depending on how much help they want is how much help, if it's a backstory thing, that's how much help they're gonna get from Kemdir, as well as how honest they're gonna be with him, because very much the same way as Nemea, like he wants honesty. If you're not gonna tell him the whole truth, then why is he gonna help you?
I mean, I don't think it's like a backseat. I think just.
Much of the social encounters is probably what you're talking about. Of,
Yeah,
how we're going
yeah.
to be dealing with things.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and
because of what happened in Diligent, we're gonna try and do the more sociable and diplomatic approach, and it's like, okay, me and Nemea have the upper hand here, so
Yeah.
probably
and that's
don't do anything without conversing with one of.
Or
both
Nemea's
of
going to
us.
immediately turn around and be like, I can't control
Yeah,
this.
just
Goodbye.
completely.
I definitely, for
Backslap.
tomorrow,
Goodbye.
or when you guys get there, is for you, Kyle, and you, Nick, to ask me questions on culture, so you can relay this back to the party, so they don't do weird stuff that catches eyes.
yeah, because that's why Kemdir did back off. Because he realizes Nemea understands this kind of thing. So it's
You just got to do it. You just got to do it.
yeah. I mean, like, Kemdir, he's not looking to.
mean,
He's just looking to do some
Nemea
things.
thinks it's very unbecoming if you make an idiot of yourself.
Kemdir still doesn't know what
except
that
when
word
you're
means.
Argos.
Kemdir still
you're
doesn't know what
Argos, you get a
he
pat on
thinks
the
you're
shoulder.
sneezing. Every time you say that.
What's the racial comp of the Ring of Beasts, or at least the carnival crew?
I would say that you and Nemea would both know that it's not completely comprised of tieflings and dragonborns. There's a good amount. But
I wasn't-
you, Argos, would know that Yolothus wasn't just completely draconians and dragonborns. There were humans, half elves, halflings, and gnomes that lived there, and they were called vassals.
Yes.
They were sort of slaves, but not really slaves. They were just they were like indentured servants for the most part that would serve most like they would serve in most aspects of society, like manual labor. Sure, slavery was probably input there as well. So you and Nemea could probably, especially you, Argos, would probably ascertain that it's still mostly comprised of humans and halflings and half elves. But obviously a little bit more tieflings and dragonborns, since this is
What's the trade and political
for
ties between Isatia and Yolothus?
not so good, but also there's technically still an armistice from the Blood Tide, which was millennia ago.
Yeah.
Never really got it never really got settled. That's why the border between Isatia and Yolothus, or Draconian Collectives, is riddled with fortresses and blasted wastelands.
So it's kind of like a stalemate, or like kind of North and South Korea.
Basically, except there is a bigger minefield.
A bigger minefield. Okay.
But like I said, there haven't been. You both would know that there hasn't been many skirmishes out there in quite some time. But the tension is still there, but it's not there as it used to be. It's a good question.
Okay.
Now, do Dragonborns and now? A good question you could have asked is, what's the relationship between Tieflings and Dragonborns? Since the Tieflings always
Yeah, you could do Burger English.
To answer that, they see the Dragonborns not as lessers, but as redeemers. You know, they saw Draconians as a stagnating power, and not to mention being mortal enemies. It was good to see a mortal enemy get put down.
Okay.
But they don't truly respect the Dragonborns because the Dragonborn government isn't as effective or as what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And Argos would know that, yeah.
Non-existent.
And we are at the hour 16 mark, depending on. Do you want to ask one more question, or?
No, I'm good.
Does anybody else have any questions? Because like I said,
questions, guys, real quick.
yeah, because it's it's pretty. We're trying to keep this condensed.
Yeah.
No, nothing off the top of my head that would actually not be a quick fire question.
Sure.
Okay, and bear in mind we will have these every Saturday. So if you guys have questions, you can write them down. If you're gonna.
Everybody ask questions about Peak.
Oh yeah, so Peak. Do you like Camdir?
I sort of like Hemdir, and my last name is, I don't remember what my dad told me when I was really young.
Oh, that's
I
unfortunate.
sort of like Hemdir, but that's not. There's some layers to it.
If you want to, I can adopt you and you can take my last name.
I'm good, honey.
Okay, thanks, sweetie.
But yeah,
Thanks for
guys.
All right, yeah, that's good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but thank you all for stopping by and checking it out. This will be uploaded on YouTube, and
The two of us. The two of us. The
yeah,
two of us.
yeah, the two of us.
And we'll probably try to think of a catchier.
Yeah, right now it's just Table Talk.
So long. It's just so long.
Well, yeah,
I like it. It's a good name, but it's so long.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't think of anything, so I'm just like, you know
I
what?
know, I haven't thought. I can't think of anything right now.
We'll
Semantics, bro.
yes, we'll figure it out. This is our first episode of doing this.
No cherries.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But guys, we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for I'm probably gonna shorten it down, but it's the Nox Imperium, the Saga of Black Lotus, and
Just put Black Lotus, because that's my title I read in my notebook or in my notes.
yeah, I don't know. You changed it on D&D Beyond, so I changed it in my.
I literally just changed it from one note. I was like, this is just gonna be it because I don't like it anymore. And boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grab your coffee, grab your monsters, grab your bangs. We're going hard tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Thank
we're going hard tomorrow morning, and it's gonna be great. And guys, stay safe, wash your hands, don't sneeze on people, have some common sense, and let's play some D&D.
Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Bye, guys.